You've been lied to your entire life. They told you to be nice, to stay humble, to wait your turn, to not be too much. But what if I told you everything they taught you is the exact reason you're still stuck? What if the real reason you're not winning is because you're not dangerous enough? There are two types of people in this world: the ones who play it safe and the ones who change everything. The safe ones wake up every day, following the same routine, thinking the same thoughts, living inside invisible boundaries they never question. They avoid risk, they avoid conflict, they avoid discomfort, and slowly, without even realizing it, they become invisible, not because they're not capable, but because they're predictable. And predictable people don't win at the highest level. But then there's the other type, the dangerous ones, the ones who walk into a room and you can feel something different about them. They don't ask for permission. They don't wait for approval. They don't shrink themselves to fit into someone else's expectations. They think differently. They move differently. They operate on a completely different level. And that difference, it's not talent. It's not luck. It's mindset. Here's the truth. Most people will never admit you're not struggling because you're not smart enough. You're not failing because you don't have opportunities. You're stuck because you've been trained to be safe. From the moment you were a kid, you were rewarded for obedience. Sit down, be quiet, don't question, don't fail. And every time you followed those rules, you were praised, so your brain learned something dangerous. Safety equals approval. Risk equals rejection. And now, that programming is controlling your entire life. Every time you have a big idea, you hesitate. Every time you want to take a risk, you overthink. Every time you could step forward, you step back. Not because you can't, but because your mind is trying to protect you. Protect you from failure. Protect you from judgment, protect you from discomfort. But here's the problem. The same system that protects you is also imprisoning you, because nothing extraordinary comes from a safe mindset. Nothing powerful comes from playing small. And deep down, you know this. You feel it every time you scroll and see someone living the life you want. You feel it every time you say, "I'll start tomorrow." You feel it every time you ignore that voice inside your head telling you that you're capable of more. That voice isn't lying. You are capable of more, but capability means nothing if your mindset is weak. And right now, your mindset has been trained to choose comfort over growth, fear over action, and approval over truth. That's why you hesitate. That's why you doubt yourself. That's why you're still where you are. Not because you're not enough, but because you've never been taught how to think like someone dangerous. And until that changes, nothing else will. You think the system is built to help you succeed. It's not. The system is built to make you predictable, because predictable people are easier to manage, easier to control, and easier to replace. And the moment you understand this, something uncomfortable happens inside you. You start realizing no one is coming to unlock your potential. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to give you permission, because permission was never the missing piece. Awareness was. Let's get brutally honest. Most people don't fail because life is unfair. They fail because they are emotionally addicted to comfort. Comfort is not harmless. It is seductive. It is silent. And it is slowly destroying your potential while convincing you that you're just resting. Think about it. The phone in your hand, the scrolling, the distractions, the endless consumption of entertainment. It doesn't feel destructive. It feels normal. But normal is exactly what keeps people stuck for years, even decades. And while you are consuming comfort, someone else is consuming discomfort. While you are avoiding pressure, someone else is building tolerance for it. While you are waiting to feel ready, someone else is already becoming what you are postponing. This is the gap most people never see. They think success is about intelligence. It's not. It's about tolerance. Tolerance for pain. Tolerance for uncertainty. Tolerance for rejection. Tolerance for being misunderstood. And here is the part that hurts the most. The world does not reward potential. It rewards execution under pressure. And if your mind collapses the moment things get uncomfortable, you will always stay at the bottom of your own life. Not because you're weak, but because your nervous system was never trained for pressure. Now let's go deeper. There is something happening in your brain that you don't notice. Every time you avoid something difficult, your brain records it as survival. It tells you, "Good job. We escape danger, but here's the trap. Your brain cannot differentiate between physical danger and emotional discomfort. So when you avoid difficult conversations, when you avoid risks, when you avoid effort, your brain treats it like survival success, and it rewards you with temporary relief. That relief feels good, but it comes at a cost, because every time you choose comfort, you are reinforcing a weaker identity. And identity is everything. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your identity. So if your identity is built around avoidance, you will unconsciously sabotage every opportunity that demands courage. This is why people self-sabotage, not because they don't want success, but because success requires a version of them they have never trained. And the mind always chooses the familiar over the unknown, even if the familiar is painful, even if the unknown is better. Now listen carefully. This is where the concept of dangerous mindset becomes real. A dangerous person is not someone who lacks fear. A dangerous person is someone who no longer obeys fear. They feel it, they understand it, but they don't let it drive decisions anymore. Most people think courage means absence of fear. That's wrong. Courage is obedience to vision over emotion, and your emotions are not designed to lead you. They are designed to react. But you've been living like your emotions are instructions. I don't feel like it. I'm not ready. I'm tired. I'll do it later. And every time you listen to those sentences, you are handing control of your life to a temporary state. That's not living. That's reacting. So what actually changes everything? It's not motivation. Motivation is unstable. It rises and falls with mood, environment, and energy. What changes everything is identity disruption. At some point, you have to confront a disturbing truth. The version of you that is comfortable right now cannot take you where you want to go, not because you are incapable, but because that version of you is optimized for safety, not expansion. And safety and growth never coexist for long. One must dominate. So the transformation begins the moment you ask yourself, what if I stopped negotiating with fear? Because right now, fear is not just something you feel. It is something you obey. And every time you obey it, you reinforce it as authority. But dangerous minds do something different. They don't wait for fear to disappear. They act while it's still there. They move with discomfort sitting right next to them. They build a relationship with pressure instead of avoiding it. And slowly, something changes. Not outside first, inside. Your brain starts recalibrating. The same situations that once felt overwhelming start feeling normal. The same pressure that once broke you starts becoming familiar. And familiarity is where power is built, because what you repeat becomes what you control, and what you control becomes what defines you. But here is the part most people miss. Transformation is not loud. It doesn't feel dramatic. It feels uncomfortable, repetitive, and mentally exhausting at first, because you are literally rewiring your response to fear, and your old identity will fight back. It will tell you, this is not you. You are not like this. You will fail. Go back to comfort, and in that moment, you will understand the real battle. It was never against the world. It was against your conditioned self, the self that wants to stay safe, the self that wants to stay small, the self that wants to avoid becoming dangerous, because becoming dangerous means becoming uncontainable. And uncontainable people can no longer be controlled by old patterns, and that is where everything begins to shift. Not when life gets easier, but when you stop requiring life to be easy before you act. There comes a moment in every person's life where information is no longer enough. You've heard enough. You've understood enough. You've analyzed enough. Now the only thing left is what you do next. Because the truth is simple. Nothing changes until your behavior changes, and nothing becomes dangerous until your actions start reflecting it. Action step 1, break the comfort loop. The first step is not motivation, it is disruption. You have to intentionally interrupt your comfort patterns, because right now your life is built on invisible loops. Wake up, comfort, distraction, avoidance, repeat. And every loop strengthens the same identity. I avoid discomfort, so you break it deliberately. Do one thing every day. that your current version of you avoids. Not once a week, not when you feel ready, every single day. It can be small, but it must feel uncomfortable. Wake up and do the hardest task first. Have the conversation you're avoiding. Start before you feel ready. Finish something you usually abandon, because discipline is not built in motivation. It is built in resistance. Action step 2, train response, not emotion. Most people try to change how they feel. Dangerous people change how they respond. Your emotions will always fluctuate, but your response can become stable. So you stop asking, do I feel like it? And you start asking, what does my future self require right now? This one shift removes negotiation from your life. No more debates, no more waiting, no more emotional permission, just execution. Even when it feels heavy, even when it feels uncertain, even when your mind resists. Because resistance is not a stop sign. It is a signal that you are breaking old conditioning. Action step 3, build tolerance for pressure. Dangerous people are not born fearless. They are trained under pressure. You must intentionally place yourself in situations where you are slightly overwhelmed, but still in control, because growth lives in that space, not comfort. Not chaos, but controlled pressure, tight deadlines, difficult tasks, high accountability, situations where failure is possible. Every time you survive pressure without quitting, your nervous system upgrades, and what used to break you starts building you. Now understand something critical. Your identity is not what you believe. It is what you repeatedly do without negotiating. So if you repeatedly avoid discomfort, your identity becomes weak. But if you repeatedly face discomfort, your identity becomes dangerous. And once that shift happens, everything changes. Your posture changes. Your decisions change. Your standards change. Your energy changes. People start noticing something different about you. Not because you're louder, but because you're no longer hesitant. You move with certainty, even when you don't feel certain. And that is what most people cannot understand, because they are still waiting for confidence before action. But dangerous minds understand something else. Confidence is not the cause of action. It is the result of repeated action under fear. So let's bring everything together. You are not behind because you lack talent. You are not stuck because life is unfair. You are not lost because you don't know enough. You are where you are because your mind has been trained to prioritize safety over expansion. But now you've seen it, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. From this moment forward, you have 2 paths. The first path is familiar. It is comfortable. It is predictable. It is safe, and it leads to a life where you always wonder, what if I tried harder? The second path is uncomfortable. It is uncertain. It is demanding. It is unfamiliar, but it leads to something most people never experience. A life where you become undeniable. Not because the world gave you permission, but because you stopped asking for it. And that is what dangerous really means. Not harm, not chaos, but a mind that no longer negotiates with fear. A mind that executes regardless of emotion. A mind that moves forward, even when comfort begs it to stop. So the only question left is this: will you stay safe, or will you finally become dangerous? Because the moment you choose action over comfort, your entire life begins to change. Not someday, not later, now.